Hello, guys, and welcome again to this edition of Adsk Learning. My name is Rich. So let's try to continue our discussion about Revit Architecture 2019 Essentials. So we have discussed last time about the creation and modifying levels. So this time around, we are going to do a grid. Okay, so in this exercise, we are going to create a grid to control the placement of columns, and then we are going to add columns also to the grid intersections. All right, so let's get started. So to start to create the grid, you can go to the architecture, and then you can see from the datum here, you can see there the grid. Okay, so that's the grid. So the shortcut for grid is GR. Now we are going to select this one. I'm going to click this, and then there's a draw panel here. This is the contextual tab of the grid. So these are the options in creating your grid. So we have four options as well as this one. But for this time, we are going to select the peak lines option. So I'm going to go ahead and select the peak lines option. And then from the offset, so let's key in here the value, let's say 600, and then enter. And then after that, I'm going to place my cursor inside the rectangle towards the left edge of the rectangle. So I'm going to click to place the vertical grid line. Okay, and then I'm going to create also grid here as well as grid here. Okay, and this one here. All right, and then after that, so I'm just going to copy this grid that I have created here. So I'm going to select modify to terminate the grid tool, and then I'm going to copy. So I'll select this one, click, and then you can see here the copy tool. Just click that, and then I'm going to select the constraint here so that it's like ortho in AutoCAD wherein the movement is a constraint to horizontal and vertical only. So I'm going to go ahead and select constraint, and then after that, I'm going to click this as my base point, and then I'm going to pick here. There you go. And then I'm going to select here modify. Okay, so I'm going to create also another column grids here. Oh, I mean grids. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to select, and then I'm going to select here copy, right? And then I'm going to copy this one. I can also check here multiple option if I want to create a multiple copies. So I'm going to click here as the base points. I'm going to pick here 1 and 2. Okay. And then let us try to arrange now our grid. So I'm going to click modify. So I'll just arrange the grid. So I'm going to pick here. I'm going to drag this one up. Let's just try to make it nice and clean. All right. So let's try to drag this one. All right. And then I'm going to click here. Let me just adjust it somewhere here. Now I'm going to select this grid here, but I'm going to uncheck this. I do not want to have the grid bubble here, but I want it here to the left side. So I click. All right, this one uncheck. Click. Check the box to show the grid bubble and unhide it. All right. All right. There you go. Okay, how about this one? So I'm going to click. I'll just drag it somewhere here. Okay, so I do not want the grid bubble there. I want to be placed at the top here. There you go. And let us change the name here. So I'll just make this ABC. All right, so A, B, C, D. All right, so this one is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. So there you go. I just created now the grid. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to add dimension. Okay, so to add dimension here, from the quick access toolbar, I'm going to select this. So I click this one, click, and let's say I'm going to pick here 1, 2, 3. So I'm just going to tidy up that. So I'll just put it here, and then I can select here EQ to make equal distances among these three grids. So I'm going to select your EQ, and look what will happen here on these grids. So I'm going to select EQ. There you go. All right. And I'm going to do that also to the left side here. Oh, I mean to the horizontal grids. So let me lock this grid D to this line here. I'm going to lock. So I'm going to pick here 1, 2. So I'm going to show you how to lock it. I'm going to place it somewhere here. Right. And then if you want to lock this grid to this line, so you can select here lock. Right, to lock it so that every time you move this grid D, this model here will follow. Okay. All right. So I'm going to select your modify. Now I'm going to select this dimension here. And then there's an option here, edit witness line. So if you want to add another dimension to continue this dimension all the way up here. So I'm going to select this, and then I select edit witness line. And then I'm going to pick now this one, and then this one. There you go. And then you just click outside. All right. And then just select modify. Okay, so it's up to you if you want to place your dimension above here or this dimension to the left side. So it's up to you, right? So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to reposition the grid C here. So this grid C I'm going to reposition, so by changing the dimension. So to do that, I'm going to click the grid C, all right, and then I'm going to change the lower dimension here. Let's say 5,500. 5,500, enter. So you'll be able to reposition that. So all you have to do is to select the grids. So same with B. So let's say I want to change this one. I want this to be 5,000. So to do that, you click the grid that you want to reposition, and then I can change here this dimension. So I can click that, and then I'm going to type 5,500. So basically that's how you modify your grids there. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to add column grids. Okay, I mean column to the grid. So on the next part of the exercise, so let us add columns to the grid. So we are going to place a structural column at the grid intersection. Okay, to begin, let's say for example the foundation plan for this building. Okay, so to start that, so I'm going to select the structure here. So there's the structure, and then I can select here column. So I can select the column, okay, and then I'll be using here 600 by 600 mm, okay. So I select 600 by 600, and then after that, as you can see, there is an option here, placement. Again, the structural column has its own contextual tab, this one, and then these are the options for the structural columns. And one of the option here is from the multiple, there's an option here, add grids. So it creates structural columns at the intersection of selected grid lines. So I'm going to select this one, right? And then after that, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to select grid number 3, and then I'm going to hold control to select A, B, C, D. Okay, just like that. Okay, now that it's all highlighted, so you just need to select your finish. There you go. So now it says here none of the created elements are visible. So we are going to modify the column that we created because there's a problem, or the issue here is this option here. So the setting is set to top of footing and then depth. So to show the column here, so I'm going to select the modify. I'm going to select the 3D view here. Okay, this 3D. All right, so where's the column? All right, so there's the column. So I'm going to select all of this column here. So just in case you experience this, so what you can do is you can change the option. So I'm going to select this. So let's say I want my structural column go all the way up. So I'm going to select, let's say, main roof. Okay, so the base level is top of footing, but the top level is on the main roof level. So I'm going to select apply. So you will notice it will now go up. Now, if we are going back to our ground floor, so it's now showing here. Okay, so again, the reason why the column is not showing, it's because the depth here is set to top of footing, and I think it would be better to change this to height. So instead of top of footing, would be better to change that to height. The height until main roof. Okay, so meaning the column that you will be creating will be placed on your ground floor, and then the height of that is until the main roof. All right. Okay, so let me try to show you that. So I'm going to select here modify. Let me delete these four columns. I'm going to show you that option. So I'm going to select the columns, and then at grids, and then, oh, sorry. So I'm going to select here, let me repeat again. So structural column, so I select column. So make sure that the height here is set to height. The option here is set to height, and then this one set to main roof, right? And then I'm going to select here at grids. So again, I'm going to select this grid here. Then I'm going to hold control, select A, B, C, D. And then you will now be able to see here the columns placed. Okay, all right. So I'm going to select here finish. Then I'm going to select here modify. Actually, I can select all the grids here to place the column grids at the intersection, but I'm not going to do that because I want to show you that you can also select the columns and then you can use copy. Okay, so that you have two options to do. So I'm going to select all the columns, and then I'm going to select here the copy tool. Make sure the multiple is checked, constraint is checked. So I'm going to pick this one as my base point, and then I'm going to click here to place the column, and then I'm going to place it here also. There you go. And then I select modify. All right, so if I go to the 3D view, so this is how it looks like. There you go. Okay, so I can change the visual style to realistic. There you go. So as you can see, this is the topo surface that we created on our previous exercises, and then we also created floors from our previous exercises as well as levels. I mean, we created levels. So if you create the levels, automatically it create also the plan view for that. Now in this exercise, what we did is we create a column grids. So basically, that's how you start your project. So you need to create first your levels, and then you need to create first the grid. So on our next exercise, so what we are going to do is I'm going to show you how to add and modify walls on our next exercise. So once again, thank you for watching and have a nice day.